figures. Today we'll be taking a look at DC Universe, 75 years of superpower, Iron. Now this comes from the Darkseid Collect to Connect figure. So as we take a look at the box, we see we have Iron here. He has his wrench hand, ball hand, and another couple of things in there. So when we look on the side, we see it's a Collect to Connect figure, Wave 12, Figure 7. And we look on the back, you can see his biography, his statistics, and a nice little picture of him there. You can pause to read. All right. And we see here, we have all the figures in the collection and our Darkseid himself. And we look on the side, we have the same thing. And on the bottom, let's flip it over. And you can see the UPC. All right, let's take the guy out and see how cool he is. Now that we have him out of the box, we can see that he does come with a couple of accessories and a leg. This leg is for the Darkseid figure. And this leg itself, if I can get it to stand well, all right. This looks like a two-handed approach. We look at the leg itself, and the leg is about a little over 4 inches in length where it would connect, which is kind of nice. It definitely would show that the Darkseid figure is going to be a big one. All right, so let's get it out of the way, and we'll take a look at his accessories first and foremost. We see a wrench here. I will fix all of your plumbing problems. And here we go. You see, it does work like a wrench should, which is cool. And this does have an indentation for his hand, and it would look like you could use his left hand for this one. And then we have his ball and chain accessory, and this one has a little bit of leftover box on it. And we see this one probably would go with his right hand, if you can look inside there. Let's see how much detail we can see. A little too dark. But anyway, let's take a look at the figure himself. We see that he is Iron. All right. He is part of the Metal Men. Metal Men are an interesting oddity in the DC Universe themselves. A robot and a plastic man kind of approach. So as we look at the figure himself, he can look up and down, right and left, do a good T-pose, has full mobility for his shoulder, and has that bicep swivel, one elbow bend, and his wrist turn slightly. He has a little bit bendability, but that not a lot. His wrist or his waist does rotate just a little bit, but because of his skirt, he cannot do much. Skirt also I can't speak today, blocks him from doing much of a split forward or back. He does have this lower thigh swivel here, a bend at the knee, and his ankles move up and down. So it has some posability, but because of his outfit, his uniform, he doesn't have much. So we'll go ahead and get the weight and scale and measurements out, and we see that he is about, looking at a little over 6 3/4. We pull the scale in and reset it because for some reason it just doesn't want to work right now. And all his parts together, we can see that he comes in at 4.2. Also included with Iron comes this collectible button here, and if you can see it, it does show a little bit of a scene from the comics themselves. This looks like the JSA from the 75 years. So very interesting little button. For figure comparisons, here he is with Duke. You can see he fits in good with the Duke. Sure. And we have Deadpool here. And making his debut on the size comparison is little bitty vintage Luke Skywalker. What a little guy. And you can see that he is towering over. It's just a little joke there. But yeah, he does fit in with the 6-inch as all the DC Universe classics really do. Size-wise, fits in nicely. So final thoughts on this guy is, yeah, it's a great representation from the comics. If you love the Metal Ben and the story behind him, definitely worth the pickup. It's a unique figure. I kind of dig him. I think it's kind of unique. I might have to take a look at the Metal Men and explore them further. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, and keep collecting.